Hello, this is Hold My Margarita with Dr. Joel B. Goodin. That's me, and you're you. And here we are, doing what we do, living in America, unless you live somewhere else, and that's good for you. Um, but today in America, new president, new vice president, the first female woman of color vice president. We've had a person of color as vice president before 1929. Curtis, I believe was his name. He was Native American. But this is the first female, first woman of color vice president. I even heard a shout out from a Catholic friend of mine, second Catholic president, is what she said. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but she was very happy. So to me, this was another inauguration. An inauguration I was really just hopeful that it would just be peaceful, if nothing else. I heard so much happiness today. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of sadness from other friends of mine that didn't get their pick. And I get that, and I'm not trying to dismiss you. And I don't, but one thing I do believe is that whether we get our pick or not, we move on, we move forward, and we support the new president and the new vice president in because we support America. If we try to hold them back, if we try to be disgruntled, if we try to be negative, then that is just hurting the chances of hopefully them doing good, them doing their jobs well, them hopefully making things better. And we always have doubts and fears that so and so might be a bad president. They they could be awful. And that's happened a lot in recent years even. And sometimes it's been better than predicted, and it can be better than predicted. I personally believe God's in control of all this anyway, so why not be hopeful? And why not support them? It's a time where we have to do, part of our civic duty is voting. I have some thoughts on that, but part of our other civic duty is living with and supporting and respecting what happens as a result of the vote. Respecting the votes of the people that disagreed with you. And also, one thing that I've really just enjoyed today that has really just made a big difference in my day and made me want to make this video was I looked around Facebook and I saw some posts, and there were a lot of females, old, middle-aged, young. Even saw a colleague of mine posting something about her daughter, and her daughter said, "The vice president looks like me." And I like her, is what she said. I like her. She looks like me. And while I don't think that's how we should choose our president and vice president, I think if we have that, if they're already chosen, let's enjoy it. And I'm not saying I enjoy all the policy. I'm not saying I agree with everything or all of that or anything. I'm not being partisan here. I'm just trying to say I look around, I see my friends happy and crying that this person, it means something to my friends that a woman and a woman of color have now become vice president. And with their excitement, if I'm going to be their friend, I'm going to cheer along with them and be happy with them. It's sort of like things I don't understand. I've had white presidents before, male presidents that represented me. I've had that all my life. And I don't know what it's like to not feel represented in that way. And for these people, they've shown me that it's important to them. And I get it. I get it. I want to celebrate with you. Sometimes we have to take perspective. And I appreciate other people showing me the way. It's like they did maybe 6 years ago when I had to think about the Confederate flag and what that meant. Well, to me, it wasn't, I didn't celebrate it as a racist thing. I didn't, get into any of that, but to me it was a Southern thing. But to many of my black people, the black friends that I spoke with, they felt traumatized by it. They felt pain. They were reminded of slavery in our history. They struggled with it. It hurt them. And at that point, I learned from them, and I chose to say, it's best we not do that. And now here we are with a new president, and especially I think the focus here is on the vice president, woman of color, Kamala Harris. And a lot of my friends are overjoyed, crying. And I choose to be happy. I choose to cheer with them. I choose to be excited. I choose to hold hands with them and do whatever we do. It's from 6 feet apart, of course. But I encourage all of you to do the same. Let's move forward. Let's do what's best for America. I know many of you are hurting and you will grieve. But eventually, I hope that we can all move forward, eventually come back together, and just search for our better angels and become our better selves and do the right thing to show respect for one another, to show respect for the office of president and vice president. And so I support and I celebrate today. I hope you can see it that way, regardless of what your vote was. I understand you may be disappointed, but at this time, we shut that book on what the election was, and we say, let's move forward. Let's support this president. I'm hopeful. I am excited for my female friends of color, and I'm so happy for you. And I'm hopeful for our country. God bless America.